It knocked again last night. 3 sharp, deliberate raps. Like a stranger tapping the rhythm of a song only they knew. It wasn't wind. Wind doesn't knock. And I know the sound of the furnace, the pipes, the creaks of a dying old house. I've lived in this place long enough to tell the difference. No, this was a knock. A human one. Or something that wanted me to think it was human. I didn't go down there. Not this time. I used to. The first time it knocked, last winter, just after my wife left. I thought it was a raccoon. We get those sometimes, hiding in the crawl space or nesting in the chimney. I grabbed the flashlight, patted down the steps in my socks, and stood in front of the basement door like a fool. I even chuckled to myself, told myself I was being dramatic. But when I reached for the knob, my hands started to shake. No warning, no thought, just this trembling, like my body knew something my brain refused to admit. I turned the knob anyway, opened the door, pitch black, and something moved. Not scurried, moved. Shifted, slow and heavy, like a body adjusting in the dark. I didn't go all the way down. I just stood there at the top of the stairs, shining the flashlight down into the black. But the light caught nothing, just dust in the air and the bottom step. I waited. Nothing. So I closed the door, locked it, went back to bed, and told myself I imagined the movement. That I was just tired, grieving, still trying to adjust to sleeping in a bed where her side stayed cold. That was 7 months ago. The knocks haven't stopped since. Sometimes they come every night for a week. Sometimes it skips a while, like it's waiting for me to forget, like it wants to lull me back into disbelief. But it always returns. Same rhythm, same deliberate knock, and always at 2:14 a.m. I've started watching the clock. I don't have friends here. Not anymore. Not since the thing with my brother. He used to live here too, back when we were still speaking. But he's been gone 6 years now. The sheriff said it was an accident. Ice on the road, no sign of foul play. But I still have dreams of his truck plunging off the bridge and the headlights vanishing into the black water below. Sometimes I wonder if the thing in the basement waited for him first. The town shrank after the factory shut down. My parents' house, this house, sits on the edge of what used to be considered the nice part of Hillridge. Now it's all rot and forgotten places. The kind of neighborhood where you don't ask questions if you hear screams at night. The kind of place where people go missing and the flyers fade before anyone takes them down. I tried talking to Pastor Eli once. Asked if he ever felt watched. He looked at me like I'd asked if Jesus liked crossword puzzles. Just smiled that tired, holy smile and said, "God's always watching, son." But it wasn't God I was worried about. I've tried ignoring it. Earplugs, sleep medication, white noise machines. But no matter what I do, the knock cuts through it all. Like it's inside the house inside me. It's not loud. That's the worst part. It's not aggressive or violent. It's patient. It's confident. It knows I'll listen. And last night was different. Because when I didn't answer the knock, it spoke. Not a word, just a breath. A long, slow exhale from the other side of the door. Like it had been holding its breath all this time. And finally let it out. My skin went cold. My ears rang. I couldn't move. Not even to sit up. I just lay there in bed frozen, listening to something breathe behind a door that should have led to nothing but old tools, shelves, and dust. I haven't been down there in months. Not since the day I found the writing on the wall. It was carved into the concrete foundation, deep and jagged, like someone used a screwdriver or knife. The letters weren't in English, or any language I recognized. Just symbols, cruel shapes. They made my teeth ache just looking at them. And beside the carving was a small pile of bones. Tiny. Bird bones, maybe. Arranged in a circle around an old mason jar filled with dirt, and hair. I never told anyone, just cleaned it up, painted over the marks, and locked the door behind me. But sometimes I swear I can still smell it. That dirt smell, wet and sour, like something buried too shallow. I don't drink anymore. That's important. I haven't touched a bottle since Lacey left. She said the whiskey made me mean. I didn't believe her then, but now I do. I see it in the mirror. The hollow in my eyes, the twitch in my jaw. I've stayed sober, stayed quiet, done everything the right way. So why won't it leave? There's a theory I've been toying with. Call it crazy. Hell, maybe I am. But I think whatever's behind that door isn't trapped. I think it wants me to believe that. Wants me to keep it locked up, keep it fed on my fear. It doesn't need to break down the door. It's been in my head for months now. In my dreams. In the reflection that sometimes lags when I move past the hallway mirror. Last week, I found footprints in the dust leading up the stairs. Not shoe prints, bare feet, small, like a child's. But I don't have kids. Not anymore. You see, there was a time I did. Once, a daughter, Evelyn. She would have been 12 last month. She loved cardinals. Said they were the messengers of heaven. Her laugh could peel the rust off this old house. She died on a Tuesday. Fell through the ice on Miller's Pond while I was inside, just for a minute. That's what I told the cops. That's what I still tell myself. But lately, I've started hearing her laugh again, from behind the basement door. I didn't want to believe it at first. The mind plays tricks. That's what they tell you when grief wraps its fingers around your throat. That's what the therapists say, with their soft voices and warm lighting. It's just your subconscious trying to process the loss. But the laugh I heard wasn't in my head. It came from behind the basement door. Clear, crisp, like someone pressed play on an old recording of Evelyn giggling at something I said. Something stupid and fatherly. And for one insane moment, I smiled. My body moved toward the door like it wasn't even mine. Like muscle memory, like instinct. My hand reached out, trembling, fingers grazing the wood. Then I heard it again, the breath. And something else, something underneath her laugh. Something that didn't belong to a child. A low growl, hidden in the spaces between her giggles. Almost like something was laughing through her. I didn't open it. I pressed my ear to the wood, closed my eyes, and for a second, I could have sworn I heard her whisper, "Daddy, help me." No one tells you how much hope can hurt. I backed away slow, like the door might lunge at me if I moved too fast. I sat on the hallway floor for an hour, listening to the silence, waiting for another knock. But it never came. That's the part that breaks you, you know? The waiting, the anticipation. It's worse than any scream. When the sun came up, I finally stood. My knees cracked. I made coffee, toast, pretended it was a normal morning. I even went to work, said hi to Sandra at the gas station, laughed when she made that dumb joke about the coffee machine being haunted. But when I got home, there was dirt on the floor in front of the basement door. Small clumps, like someone had tracked it in on bare feet. And tucked in the pile of dirt was a single red feather. Cardinal. I haven't slept since. The lights flicker now, every night at 2:14. Just for a second, just long enough to notice. I've changed the bulbs, checked the wiring, even had an electrician come out. He said everything looked fine. Said maybe the breaker's getting old. The house hums too. Not all the time, just when I'm trying to fall asleep. A low, throaty vibration in the walls. Not like plumbing, like something alive. Like a growl being held in the throat of the house itself. The dreams have changed too. I don't just see Evelyn anymore. I see my brother, standing at the foot of the stairs, soaking wet. His eyes gone. just deep, dark holes like someone scooped them out with a spoon. He points at the basement door, opens his mouth to speak, but no sound comes out. Just water, thick, black water that pours from his mouth and pools on the floor, writhing with shapes I don't want to name. And behind him, in the dark, something waits, tall, watching. It's always watching. Sometimes I wake up with wet footprints on the floor next to my bed. I used to think I could fight it, that whatever this was, it could be reasoned with, that maybe it was tied to the house, to my guilt, my loss, my pain, that if I just apologized, if I atoned, it would go away. But this thing, it doesn't want an apology. It wants me. It wants to replace me. I see it now, in the mirror, in the shimmer of glass, a shape that isn't mine, a face that almost looks like mine, but older, hungrier, smiling when I'm not. The man in the mirror whispers things now, horrible things. He tells me I left Evelyn too long, that she cried for me before the water filled her mouth, that her hands clawed at the ice, and I didn't come, that I never wanted to. That's not true. God, that's not true. Is it? I try not to look at the basement door anymore, but it's always in the corner of my eye. Sometimes it's cracked open, just a sliver, just enough to see darkness, and feel it watching me. Other times it's shut tight, locked from the inside. I've started taping it shut with duct tape, layering it again and again, as if plastic and glue could hold back something older than language. But the tape always peels away, neatly, like someone did it with care. It's learning, it's waiting. Tonight is different. Tonight, I woke to the sound of someone walking upstairs. Heavy steps, slow, one after the other, across the ceiling, back and forth. The weight of it bowed the wood. Dust rained from the light fixture. I didn't move. I just lay there in bed, heart pounding so hard I thought it might burst. Then the footsteps stopped, and the knock came, not from the basement door this time, from my bedroom door. 3 knocks, deliberate, measured. I didn't breathe, couldn't. Something was on the other side. I felt it, that pressure in the air when lightning is about to strike. That instinct buried in your bones from when we still lived in caves. The knob turned, slow. I didn't even realize I'd reached for the bat under my bed until I felt the cold metal in my hand. I sat up, ready. Whatever it was in the house now. No more doors between us. No more whispers. And then, Daddy, her voice, small, broken, just like the last time I saw her face through the ice. I dropped the bat. It rolled onto the floor with a hollow clang. The door creaked open, just a few inches, and I saw her, or something wearing her, standing in the hallway, pale, soaked. Her dress clung to her skin like it had been painted on. Her lips were blue. Her eyes, God, her eyes were wrong. Too wide, too still, like glass marbles. She smiled. "Can I come in now?"